Hello, welcome back to the channel and the videos on the 205 I pulled out of a barn recently. You can see silly hats because it's Christmas. I've had to stand in the shade because it's so bright I can't actually see if I move outside. But the been several jobs done, little bits and bats, sorted out the bonnet, the hinge as I said in the last one, and managed to align the bonnet now. Got a battery for it, and it's been a bit of a few nights of cleaning until it got dark, but I'm going to go through all the dashboard parts and everything and try and get some of it reassembled today, make it look a little bit better. There it is again. You'll have to excuse the shadow of me because it's long shadows, winter sun, I can't avoid it really. If I shine it the other way, it's just pitch black. Yeah, the bonnet's now lined up, the hinge repaired, all the scuttle panel was cleaned out before. The interior is starting to come together. Again, the sun's going to cause all kind of problems, but there you go. That's better. Look, actually come up quite well. That is the original carpet. If you can see it, it's needs hoovering again with dismantling bits on the dash. I've given it a quick wipe down in places, but it's quite grotty. The back of it's all finished, as you saw in a previous video. The starting to look a little bit more habitable. Store linings, dashboard. This one's clipped back on and he's put a plastic sheet behind it. But other than that, we're getting there. However, it's really sad really. I painted the pedals because they were a bit worn. I put the new rubbers back on. Inside this side, much of the same. The wiring I need to hide there because it's, I think there's had a different stereo fitted. It's all hanging out the back, which not good for me, do my head in. Yeah, battery in, everything's much the same under here. I need to sort out a few bits of wiring. They've been chewed up by critters. I've had a bit of a nibble on it there, and the coating here. But one thing I don't know if you can help us out with, I've got a stray wire here. I've no idea where it's supposed to go. It's either broken off or been chewed off. Now it's not the earth cable to that. It possibly goes into the indicator. I need to get that box out, but it's different to the one on that side. So if anybody knows where that goes, it's got a kind of fabric coating for it pretty much reach anywhere. So if you've got any ideas where that could go, let me know in the comments, because I've not had a massively good look for it. I just keep seeing it, but I'm not sure where it goes. Yeah, the same with the bit of wiring for the indicators down there. It's been nibbled by, let's say, when I was on the farm, the critters have been at it. But I can repair all that, rewire them and get it all working. But I'll get on with a bit more inside anyway. I'm going to try with a little stand, little mountain whilst I do it. It may go on too long. I have to edit it down, or it may just be horrendous. So this YouTube game is not easy, is it? Right, I'll go and get set up. Right, we're inside now. I've got a few bits to clean up, like mainly the vents. The muck you get in them, it's a pain to get out, so the best thing I always do is just completely strip them down, clean every individual bit, put them back together, and they look good as new. The one of these on this side's got an issue anyway. When you turn that, it doesn't actually turn the flap until you really force it, and it turns out it's come off the peg, so it would have had to get stripped anyway. But just the muck and the dirt that's in them, the sun's a bit helpful there, but it's just nearly impossible to get a decent job of it. So I've got all those. I'll see how long it goes on. If it's too long, I shall edit it down a little bit, because I suspect that may be the case. Oh yeah, there you go. They come out forwards. Yeah, it's just a lot easier to clean it. Right, some generic car cleaning stuff, because I know you're not supposed to use names. Now I've got a mixture of a paintbrush, which you get into the deeper ones, the old favourite 30p toothbrushes from the supermarket. Detailing brushes are a bit more expensive, whereas you can get right into all the grooves and clean them all up properly. It's little things like this that you don't notice until they're actually clean how much better they look. As I say, down in those ones there I can't quite get, so give it a rinse. Then get a clean paintbrush and just, there are proper detailing brushes no doubt for getting into these sort of places. Little bottle brushes would probably do it as well. But it just smells really nice, this stuff. It's like, what's it smell of? Like sherbet type stuff. And everybody will have a choice and a preference of what they use. I tend to have one brand I use all the time, but these ones were in the local motor factors and £2 and £3 a bottle. I thought I'd try them and they're actually quite good. Got the matte and the shine finish. The matte one seems to be a little bit too matte. Whereas the shine I'm hoping won't be too shiny. It's a bit catch-22 really. Shame they're not doing a satin finish one. But already that's looking a stack better. Get all the muck out of it. In fact, there's those little bits up there that aren't quite, so I'll get the screwdriver on a cloth. Just poke it into the holes. Be careful not to break the tabs off and the vents, because then be on the hunt for parts again. There you go, that's one bit done already. Now obviously the vents themselves can be a little bit tricky, but as long as everything's lined up when you take them off, you gently unclip them a bit at a time and just release them. Should put my glasses on, I can't see how this one comes out. Must just be the same. There you go, yeah. And they're all held together by like a little bar. There you go. That as you operate one, it operates them all. Again with these little tiny pegs, and just pop them out. Sometimes you'll have a different one that's got the arms connected, but all these look the same, so we'll find out when I put it back together, shan't we? And then you've got the little top roller. Should be able to pop out. There you go. And again, far easier to clean. Where's the bottle gone? Oh, there it is. Give me a good spray inside and out. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with doing every one of these like this. I thought I'd just show you one, and then we can get on with the other ones off camera. Otherwise it'll be incredibly long, incredibly boring video. I've got to remember you can't see if I've got my hand facing the other way, so and you go inside now, in all the grooves. Gets rid of all the muck and everything. Don't forget to do inside the dashboard as well, because otherwise as soon as you put the fans on, it just fills them back with muck again. So just get as much out of there as you can, particularly leaves and things, because when you suddenly get leaves thrown in your face, people get upset, thinking they're spiders. God knows what critters you'll find in there, and over the years we've been sat for a while, and I'll give all the vents a good blowout with an airline, just to dislodge anything, and then put the blowers on full for a while whilst I do it. Make sure everything's gone. Otherwise it just makes a mess of your car when you've finished it. But this one, it's starting to look a little bit better. The door cards and rebuilding the doors will be the next job after these. But yeah, it's far better. All the muck and bits and dust compared to the one before. It probably won't show up, but yeah, there you go. Same piece, same thing. Just a lot easier to clean. And all these little bits, you just Just give them a white spray over and then individually give them a wipe down. So don't lose anything or break them. They can be quite brittle, especially on the little tiny tabs that hold them in. If you snap one of them off, it'll be a bit awkward to keep back together. In fact, as you see, as I was saying, you might have one that's slightly different. There is. That must be the centre one with that tab on. The rest of them are like that. The centre one, you get the little tab for the vent adjuster. So yeah, there will be one different. You're learning as much as I am with this, because it's the first time I've done one of these particular cars. I tend to go this daft on a car if it's bad. Other times my friends that'll always take the mick about taking carpets out to clean cars, and it's like, yeah, if they're bad, it's the only way really to clean other people's muck out, especially when you're buying something that's been sat around for a while. Right, let's try and get some of these back in. Obviously the middle one goes back in because it's got the centre tab. Now, it might be an idea to put that piece back in first and make sure it's the right way up. I wish I put my glasses on because I can't see. It's a bit dark. Yeah, there you go. That's got the groove in the centre. So when you put it back in, got that clipped there, goes into that hole. It's in the groove, sorry. It was difficult to see. There you go. And then just bend the plastic ever so slightly to clip the peg back into the hole. Now, if that's done correctly, which it's not, let's try it again. Oh, come on. I have to open the other door for a little bit of light, but there might be a bit of background noise. There you go, that's that sort. It took a while, sorry. That's that one done. It's working on the little bit properly now. It's just a case of each one then goes back in the same way, just in the little holes. And they all clip back together. Might be easier to start at one end than the other, but I've got enough to do to practice on. Sorry, you can't see again. Don't worry, I will be editing this down. Right, and just make sure when you put that together that they all fit the right way around and they all lay against each other. That's how it would be if it's in the off position. And then your little hooky clips, each one of those will go onto the back of each one. You have to be dead careful that you don't break them. They all have to go on fairly evenly, so there you go. And then you got working vent that's spotlessly clean inside, that you'd never be able to get done. I mean, you could have pressure washed it out, but it would never be the same, never be quite as good, and that's one of the things I'm a bit picky about. So whoever buys this car, we're nice and clean inside. And same with this. Now they do go back in from the back, because there's like the grooves are there for them to sit in. There you go, just click them back together, and there's your spotless vent, all clean compared to the same one off the other side, which hasn't been cleaned yet. Trust me, they do look quite a lot different. There's not so much on camera. There you go, that shows it better in the light. But satisfying job, doesn't take too long. Once you've done a couple of them, they shouldn't take nearly 15 minutes. But I'm going to leave you to it for a second, get these other ones done, and I should be back to start doing the dashboard. Right, that's them all done. All spotlessly clean inside. All work. All the little arms, everything are good. Also acts a bit of a lubricant as well, so they don't get so sticky or break the clips. But there's the other two. All the grooves cleaned out, all the vents spotlessly clean. Big difference when you sat in a car and you see that. I think so anyway. The next job I'm going to start on the dashboard. Some of it's not too bad. I gave it a wipe over to get rid of the mud and the muck before. However, it seems to have, let's set you off there. It seems to have dried a bit dull again. Open the door, get some light in, but yeah, there's still quite a lot of muck everywhere. But I'll get on with that. Yeah, you can see it in the steering wheel. It needs proper ingrained in. But for now, that's not a bad start. The bits, it's going back together quite well. I'm going to blow out the air vents, but you don't need to watch that because I'll just be muck flying everywhere. And I'll carry on in a minute. It's Christmas Eve. It's getting a bit late in the day now, so I got quite a bit done. Got the dashboard back together and then realised that the steering column cowling needs to go on before the dashboard top. So unfortunately, I've got to take that back off again. It's looking a lot better in there. The absolutely ridiculous difference from what it was like to what it is like now. Painted the pedals, cleaned up the rubbers and things. Just all the little details that when you get in it looks alright. New mats make a big difference, as I said before. But you won't believe it's the same car really. And it is. Believe it or not. Even that in the ashtray, it's spotless inside and would appear it's never been smoked. Probably had worse things done at the farm. And the mud and everything else. Still need to get hold of a set of clocks, Jaeger, because the hands had fell off the clock. I glued them back on and they were fine. And then it must have got into the mechanism and actually glued the hands in that position. So it's always going to be nearly 5 o'clock. I disconnected it so I wouldn't burn anything out and strip any cogs or anything, but yeah, I think that's not a bad day's work, apart from having to take that off to put that back on because I'm an idiot. But never mind. Let's go from the other side where you can see it. Yeah, it's certainly a lot better compared to how it was just a couple of weeks ago. Even the seats good, not faded, as bad as they normally are. It's just a shame about the instruments, I've got to take them out and sort them anyway. But all the vents clean, as you've seen in the previous high speed bit. Took a bit of doing, but I thought I may as well get it done. Still got to do that door yet. It's not quite finished, but it's actually not far off. Right, I'm going to go to the shop before it closes for 12 hours. Obviously, everybody does the same thing. There'll be nothing left on the shelves. But have a good Christmas, and I'll see you maybe between Christmas and New Year to do a bit more. If not, it'll be in the New Year. Cheers, see you later.